Which is the best GTA? Well, maybe the images you're seeing are spoiling my answer, but is it the correct one? This question has sparked debate on the internet for years, and with GTA 6 hopefully coming out soon, this discussion has resurfaced. We can see how on Reddit and other social media platforms, interesting and deep debates arise, which quickly turn into something more like this.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah!
Today, I'm here to tell you why, for me, San Andreas is the best GTA. And if you don't agree with me, just kidding, if you don't agree with me, you are absolutely right. I have 3 main reasons to defend why San Andreas is the best. First, the story. I don't care about it. I mean, yeah, a couple of years ago I replayed it and finally finished its story. It was very entertaining, and I think it has some very well written, iconic dialogues. But the thousands of hours I dedicated to San Andreas when I was 12 or 13 weren't because of the story. In fact, I did very few missions during that time. For my brother and me, the game was about driving like maniacs, causing chaos, jumping off cliffs with Freebird playing on the background, singing all the songs from Radio X, collecting hundreds of cars on the highway and blowing them up, finding out how far you can swim, and of course, searching for Bigfoot, which we found but we forgot to record it. What a shame. This game for us was total freedom. We were at an age where more and more rules were being imposed on us, and suddenly this game appears, where the fun begins when you break the rules. And by rules, I don't just mean laws and good behavior, but also the intrinsic rules of video games in general, where the idea is to follow objectives, waypoints, or conditions to gradually uncover the fun. GTA San Andreas isn't like that. You can follow its story, yes, or you can take a look at this beautiful list of cheat codes and let the party start now. Of course, you can do this in other GTAs as well, but never to the extent that San Andreas allows. Moreover, I think the biggest difference lies in the playing field. This game and its map have the perfect size, not too big or too small. It's carefully designed so that reaching the most interesting and fun places is easy and quick, with the right vehicle, of course. Well, second reason. We didn't play San Andreas. We lived there. When I returned to this game a few years ago to finish its campaign, or when I played again recently to record some gameplay, I felt something I hadn't experienced with any other game. It felt like when you move to another neighborhood or city, and years later, for some reason, you return to this place where you grew up. I recognized the houses, the graffiti, the shops, the corners. It only took me a few minutes to find my bearings and remember how to get from one point to another. San Andreas, especially Los Santos area, feels like your neighborhood. And when you play it again years later, it hits you much harder. I think this is because it's a game that doesn't hold your hand. While you can look at the map and know where you want to go, the game doesn't tell you how to get there. You carve your own path and create your route. This, in a way, forces you to learn the roads, just like in real life, especially to places you visit regularly, such as shops, certain characters' houses, or vehicles that respawn in specific spots. I believe this level of connection with the San Andreas region is achieved because there is no line guiding you to your destination, but also because the map is full of visually recognizable places that become landmarks for your journeys. Still, when I say that in some way you live in San Andreas, I don't just mean you become a human GPS. It also had to do with the game's ability to immerse you. On the surface, it looks just like another game with very few polygons and highly pixelated textures. But somehow they managed to make walking down Grove Street at noon feel hot. Riding a bike up Mount Chiliad during a storm feels epic. And spending a night in the woods gives you the creeps. Because you feel like something is following you, but it hides behind the trees when you look. All of this makes San Andreas a place where it's enjoyable to move around, whether it's because you are proud of the route you created and memorized, or because you feel like getting lost and seeing what surreal thing happens this time. And finally, my third reason is 1993. That's the year I was born. Which means that by 2004, the year GTA San Andreas was released, I was already at that age where you start playing these more mature games. What I'm trying to say is that San Andreas is my GTA. It's the GTA of my generation. Obviously, there are people my age who might disagree with me and love Vice City, GTA 4 or 5, but I feel that for the vast majority, San Andreas was that game. A canonical event, a cultural phenomenon. It was what everyone talked about at school. It was the excuse to get together and play with friends. It was the reason to research Bigfoot and end up getting caught by a cheap screamer. Is this an objective argument? Of course not. It comes completely from the heart, but it's still valid, both for me and for everyone in this debate. If a 15-year-old comes up to me and says I'm a sad, stupid old man because the best GTA is obviously 5 Online, LOL, he might be right, but it will happen to you too. And you better watch your mouth, young one. It's similar to what happens with Star Wars. Most people from the 80s say the original trilogy is the best and that the prequel is trash, because that's no longer their Star Wars. People from the 90s like me love the original, but their favorite might be the prequel, because that's our Star Wars, the one we grew up with. And yes, that also happens with the sequel trilogy. For some, it might be their favorite, and we must learn to live with that. I never thought I'd say that. Every time there is a debate about the best GTA, we enter this loop where at the beginning there might be somewhat objective and valid arguments, like my first two reasons, but at some point this third argument starts to emerge, that feeling of belonging with your GTA. And it's very hard to change the opinion of someone so deeply involved, almost impossible. Does this mean it's not worth debating which is the best GTA? No, of course it's worth it. Because among the broken glasses, empty cartridges and bloody knives after the Reddit fight, valid arguments can be found in what others think. Those arguments that makes you say, you know what, you bastard, you have a point. And sometimes that's all it takes for someone young to realize that next gen isn't always synonymous with better, and that it's worth revisiting games from the past. But also for older people like me, not to get stuck in the good old days and let others enjoy what they like. So yes, for me the best GTA is San Andreas. And if you don't agree with me, you are absolutely right too.
Can y'all step outside for a minute? I need to talk to him. If you don't get this shit together, what you think this place is gonna look like? You always did real good leaving jobs half finished.
That's cold, sweet.
Man, we can't take care of this from no bitch-ass rapper's mansion.
Look, the world's bigger than this hood.
This is where our lives begin and where it's probably gonna end. And don't forget where you came from, Mr. Uppity-ass nigga.
Now that ain't fair.
Oh. Somebody just crossed out all the writing on the wall, disrespected your hood, and you act like you don't give a fuck. That ain't fair.
Okay. Have it your way. Come on.
So that's it for this video. I really had so much fun recording this gameplay. I was only going to record for one day. I ended up playing for a week and recording almost nothing. What a great game. Also, luckily I have the classic PC version, which they stopped selling after the release of the Trilogy remaster. No thanks, I like this game just as it is, with its stretched textures and scarce polygons. What's your favorite GTA? Which one do you think is the best? Is the answer to these questions the same GTA or are they different? Leave your opinions in the comments, but calmly, let's save the fights for Twitter or Reddit. In any case, I sincerely hope this video was worth your time and really thank you for stopping by. You can also subscribe and give it a like if you want, and if not, it's okay. Maybe next time. Take care, don't stay up too late, drink water and all that stuff. See you in the next video. Bye.